Good evening. Many years ago, I read a book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And this book had a big influence on me. And this was around 12 years ago when I read it. And he said in the book that, you can live anywhere, you can work anywhere, and you can join the new rich. In other words, that you could live this sort of multimillionaire lifestyle without actually being a multimillionaire. That was the kind of theme of it. And he talked about people who were in a job and perhaps couldn't just take off, that you could persuade your boss to allow you to work home for maybe 1 or 2 days a week and then 3 days a week and then maybe the whole week working from home. And he said then you could set up systems and then you could be working from anywhere effectively, and you could be sort of swanning off around the world while you're working from home, but still do your job. And it was about negotiating with your boss to kind of let go and not need you in the office all the time. Now, it all sounded a bit of a fantasy in 2007 when he published the book. But today, millions of people are being offered just that, the opportunity to work permanently from home, even if you live abroad. And, this is unthought of before, the events of the last year, before the lockdown and pandemic. Now, the latest one is the Ocado Group, which is a big sort of food delivery group here in the UK. And they've told office staff they can work remotely from anywhere in the world, which means, they can effectively live the laptop lifestyle that has eluded many people over the last few years. And, of course, you've got the Silicon Valley giants, the Twitters and the Facebooks are all saying to their staff, stay at home. They've got no plans to bring all of their staff back to their enormous plush campus-style offices that they've built. They spent fortunes building these offices, and yet they're telling people to kind of just stay working from home. I don't know if this will last forever, because, not everyone likes the idea of working from home. Some people don't have the space. They find it a bit lonely, a bit isolated, working from home, having constant meetings on Zoom. It can be wearing on you as well. It's not everyone's ideal lifestyle. And of course, governments and retailers don't like the idea of losing all that revenue from the office staff going out at lunchtime, using the restaurants, the bars and the evening night trade and all the retail that's built up around the city. The city of London, people, it's just dead at the moment. And whereas usually it would be buzzing, I think it is getting a little bit busier, but they've built whole retail shops and places around that area to cope with the staff who go out and buy stuff and drink coffees and have lunches and that sort of thing. It's a nice place to be in the city, but I don't know how these places are surviving without these staff. And of course, they've just finished in the UK the Elizabeth line, which is a whole new rail line running almost side by side with other lines because the capacity was they were unable to meet the capacity on the existing trains apparently. So they built the biggest ever rail project in Europe, and that's just been completed. And they're talking about HS2 to link up London and Birmingham, even though London and Birmingham is already linked up by a line. So they've made all these plans, and now they're finding that people are not moving around so much, certainly not for work purposes. And a lot of people say, well, why would you travel all the way to an area, maybe have an overnight stay to talk about things that you could just sort out on a Zoom call? And now we've got the technology where Zoom is so easy to use. I've tried using Microsoft Teams, not found it very user-friendly, although government's departments seem to prefer the Microsoft Teams, which is more secure. But Zoom is so easy, and even people in their 80s and 90s I know are using Zoom now. So that the whole thing has changed. It's like we've leapfrogged forward about 5 years where we would have been had we not had the pandemic. So there you go. That's where we are now. And to be fair, Tim Ferriss, although in his book he said, I travel around the world. I spent 6 months learning the tango in Buenos Aires and learning kendo in Tokyo. He already had a physical business before he started swanning off around the world. And he just got someone to manage it, and he set up systems in place so that he could be anywhere in the world whilst managing his business. And then he gradually whittled it down to what he calls the 4-hour work week. And then he made a living as an author and blogger and all sorts of things. So he's now become a big celebrity in the blogging and speaking world. So he developed a new stream of income, but he already had a stream of income beforehand, before he just went off around the world. So it's not that easy for everyone. But do you think, is it possible then? Do you think you can really work a few hours a week while leading the laptop lifestyle? Well, the answer is yes, of course you can. If you can set things up properly, there's no reason why you can't make a living online. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of ways of making a living online, and then you could be anywhere you like. Not everyone wants to live on an island or travel all the time, but at least it would give you the choice to quit the rat race, to live life on your own terms, and live from anywhere where there is a Wi-Fi connection, whether that be in your job or whether that be running your own business. And the first stage really is to work towards financial freedom. And that's what I teach people to do. And I show people how they can become financially free. It's not a get-rich-quick overnight scheme. This is a way you can become financially free. And you could take those first steps towards financial freedom very soon, quickly, right today. If you book a coaching call with me, we can show you how you can take the first steps to become financially free. Now, what I want you to do first of all is look at the on-demand training where I explain this in a bit more detail, and then you'll be offered a chance at the end of that, and we'll give you a free gift at the end of that, but you'll be offered a chance to book a call with me and to start taking the first steps towards becoming financially free. You can change your life. You can make your life better. You don't have to be in that job for the rest of your life that you don't like, commuting into work and that sort of thing, and be a slave to the system. You can live life on your own terms and quit the rat race and build yourself a better life and be financially free. So click on the link below and we'll see you soon, I hope.